Hello everyone, welcome back to the Iron Conflict and Frontline channel. Please subscribe and like my videos, because today we're going to uncover one of the most fascinating and powerful comparisons in modern air warfare: why Israeli F-35 jets, known as the F-35I Adir, have proven to be far more lethal and combat effective than even those operated by the world's most advanced NATO air forces. It's not just about technology, not just about the aircraft itself, but about how Israel has adapted, modified, and weaponized this fifth-generation stealth fighter to fit its unique strategic doctrine, combat philosophy, and constant readiness for real war. Imagine this: a jet takes off silently under the darkness of the Negev desert, its angular frame gliding across the night sky, almost invisible to radar, flying deep into enemy territory, completing its strike, and returning before the target's defenders even realize they've been hit. That's not a Hollywood scene, that's the operational reality of the Israeli Air Force's F-35I Adir. It's a story of how innovation, necessity, and a deep understanding of modern warfare can transform an aircraft already regarded as the most advanced fighter on Earth into something even more deadly. From the outside, the F-35I looks like any other Lightning Roman II, with the same stealth geometry, the same swept back wings, and the same low observable coatings that make it nearly invisible to radar. But look closer and you start to see the difference. The Israeli version is not a mere copy of the American model. It's a customized, re-engineered beast designed for the unique challenges of the Middle East. The Israelis call it the Adir, meaning mighty one, and mighty it truly is. The airframe itself retains the F-35's exceptional stealth characteristics: smooth, faceted surfaces that deflect radar waves away, a single powerful Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine that provides immense thrust and allows it to fly at supersonic speeds, and internal weapon bays that can hold missiles and bombs without compromising its stealth profile. But Israel's approach to air combat has always been about flexibility. They didn't just want a stealth jet that could sneak into enemy territory, they wanted one that could adapt on the fly, switch between stealth and brute force, carry custom weapons, and plug directly into Israel's national defense network. And that's exactly what they built. Inside the jet lies the true heart of the Adir's superiority. The cockpit of the F-35 is already a marvel of 21st century engineering, one of the most advanced ever designed. But Israel took that foundation and fused it with its own technological genius. When an Israeli pilot climbs into the cockpit, they are stepping into a fully integrated command center, not just a fighter jet. The large panoramic touchscreen stretches across the cockpit, displaying a complete real-time picture of the battlefield: radar contacts, infrared targets, friendly aircraft, ground units, even satellite and drone feeds. The pilot's helm, it is another technological masterpiece. It allows the pilot to see through the aircraft itself. With the helmet-mounted display, the pilot can literally look through the floor of the jet to view the ground below, or turn their head and lock onto targets using their eyes alone. Every sensor, every camera, every radar beam is fused into one unified picture. But Israel's touch makes it even more deadly. They have integrated their own software, electronic warfare systems, and data links into the F-35I, something no other country has been allowed to do. The Adir connects seamlessly with Israel's ground-based radar systems, early warning satellites, and surveillance drones. This means that even while flying hundreds of miles away, the pilot is receiving live updates from every sensor in Israel's defense network, from the Golan Heights to the Mediterranean. It's as if the entire Israeli defense infrastructure is flying alongside that single jet. This is what makes it so unique, a fusion of American stealth with Israeli intelligence. The interior design also reflects Israel's doctrine of rapid deployment and high readiness. The Israelis don't have the luxury of time or depth of territory. Every second counts. So they've optimized their jets for fast turnaround. Ground crews can refuel, rearm, and relaunch an Adir in record time. The pilot lands, the data from the mission is automatically downloaded and analyzed, and maintenance teams swarm over the aircraft to prepare it for its next sortie. Within hours, sometimes less, it's back in the air. This relentless cycle of readiness is what gives Israel its strategic edge. NATO air forces may have more aircraft on paper, but Israel squeezes every ounce of capability from each machine. Their maintenance crews, trained with precision and discipline, treat every jet like it's going to war, because in Israel, it always could. The performance of the Adir speaks for itself. The F-35 platform already boasts exceptional aerodynamic performance and agility for a stealth aircraft capable of exceeding Mach 1.6, climbing to altitudes above 50,000 feet, and performing tight maneuvers despite its heavy stealth structure. But in Israeli hands, the F-35 becomes something even more formidable. Israeli pilots have conducted real-world combat missions with their F-35s, not just training flights or exercises. In fact, Israel was the first country in the world to use the F-35 in combat, long before many NATO nations had even declared their fleets fully operational. Reports suggest Israeli F-35s have flown into Syria, Lebanon, and even areas near Iran, striking high-altitude targets while evading advanced Russian-made air defense systems like the S-300 and S-400. That's not theory, that's proven combat success. And it highlights one major difference. While NATO countries use their F-35s as deterrence tools and for joint exercises, Israel uses them as frontline weapons. The Adir has become the tip of the spear for Israeli air superiority operations. Performance isn't just about speed or stealth, it's about how efficiently and effectively an aircraft can deliver results in real combat. The Israeli F-35I can carry out deep strike missions, precision attacks, electronic warfare, and reconnaissance all in a single sortie. It can fly in stealth mode, carrying 2 missiles internally, or switch to what the Israelis call beast mode, mounting external pylons that allow it to carry additional bombs and missiles when stealth isn't the priority. This flexibility allows it to dominate both high-threat environments where stealth is key and more permissive airspaces where maximum firepower is needed. During operations, Israeli F-35s have been known to destroy multiple targets in a single flight command centers, missile depots, radar installations, and even moving convoys. The combination of precision and survivability makes it one of the most dangerous tools in Israel's arsenal. Another defining feature of the Adir's superiority lies in its electronic warfare capabilities. Israel has long been a leader in EW technology, developing jamming systems, radar deception equipment, and cyber warfare tools that are the envy of the world. The Adir is equipped with a unique Israeli electronic warfare suite that can detect jam and deceive enemy radars far more effectively than standard F-35s. This means that even when flying into dense radar environments, Israeli pilots have the confidence that their jet can not only hide but fight back electronically. The aircraft's computer brain, enhanced by Israeli algorithms, can analyze radar signals in real time, classify threats, and deploy countermeasures automatically. In practical terms, this allows the Adir to operate deep inside enemy territory where NATO pilots might hesitate to go. Safety, too, has been given tremendous attention. In Israel, every aircraft is expected to survive not only the mission, but to be immediately ready for the next one. The Adir's stealth coating and airframe design reduce its radar signature to the size of a marble, making it almost impossible to lock onto. Its onboard defensive systems detect incoming missiles long before they pose a danger, automatically launching flares, chaff, or electronic countermeasures to confuse enemy guidance systems. The pilot's helmet provides instant threat warnings, displaying missile trajectories and safe evasive routes directly on the visor. Even in worst-case scenarios, the ejection system is designed for rapid pilot survival. Israel's training ensures that pilots can respond instantly to mechanical or combat emergencies, minimizing losses. The result is a remarkably high survival rate and reliability record. Unlike some NATO air forces, where logistical delays and maintenance issues keep many F-35s grounded, Israel's fleet boasts astonishing readiness levels. Reports suggest over 90% of Israeli F-35s are combat ready at any given time, a figure that eclipses even the U.S. Air Force and other European operators. This means when the order comes down, Israel can launch almost its entire fleet within minutes. That's a level of readiness very few nations can match. What truly makes the Adir lethal is how it integrates into Israel's overall defense philosophy. Israel's defense strategy is built around rapid detection, rapid response, and overwhelming precision. Every aircraft, radar, missile battery, and satellite is linked through a vast digital network, constantly feeding and receiving data. The Adir sits at the center of this web, acting as both a sword and a sensor. It doesn't just execute strikes, it collects information, maps enemy positions, and relays that data back to command centers in real time. It becomes the eyes and ears of the entire Israeli Defense Forces. When an F-35I identifies an enemy radar or missile site, it can instantly transmit those coordinates to ground batteries, drones, or even naval units. Within seconds, the target is destroyed. This networked warfare model is something Israel has perfected through decades of experience and constant conflict. NATO forces train for it, but Israel lives it every day. One of the unique advantages the Adir enjoys is freedom of customization. While most NATO F-35s are tightly controlled by U.S. software and systems, Israel negotiated the right to modify its jets independently. This means they can install their own coding, weapons, and communication gear without waiting for American approval. It's like having an iPhone that you can reprogram completely, something no other user gets to do. As a result, Israeli engineers have integrated home-grown munitions such as the Spice Precision guided bomb and advanced air-to-surface missiles, giving the Adir an arsenal tailored specifically for Middle Eastern warfare. The aircraft's mission computer is programmed to prioritize these weapons, calculate attack angles, and adjust stealth configurations automatically for each type of strike. That autonomy allows Israel to act faster, smarter, and with more control than its NATO counterparts. The price of the F-35I is high, no doubt about it. Each jet costs well over $80 million US dollars, and that's before factoring in training, maintenance, and customization. But for Israel, cost has never been the question, effectiveness is. Every dollar invested in the Adir translates into deterrence, survival, and power projection. And while many countries buy advanced fighters as political statements or industrial deals, Israel buys them as a necessity of survival. Every F-35I on an Israeli runway represents a shield against existential threats. In Israel's security doctrine, the Adir isn't just an aircraft, it's insurance for the nation's existence. Beyond the machine, the people behind it complete the picture. Israeli pilots are among the best trained in the world. Their selection process is grueling, and their combat experience unmatched. Many of them have flown F-16s and F-15s for years before transitioning to the F-35I. Their training emphasizes autonomy, creativity, and split-second decision-making. Unlike some NATO pilots who rely heavily on command direction, Israeli pilots are trained to think independently, adapting to battlefield changes in real time. When you combine that mindset with the Adir's technology, you get a synergy that's almost unbeatable. The pilot doesn't just fly the plane, they command the sky. Operationally, Israel's F-35 fleet has proven its value over and over. In multiple reported missions, F-35Is have flown deep into Syrian airspace to strike Iranian weapon shipments and militias without being detected. They've escorted other jets, performed reconnaissance over hostile areas, and even simulated long-range missions that could reach Iran's nuclear facilities. The aircraft's ability to strike and vanish without leaving a radar trace sends a clear message: Israel can hit anywhere, anytime. That strategic message alone has enormous deterrent power. NATO's F-35s, while technologically identical in many respects, are used far less aggressively. They remain symbols of collective defense and deterrence rather than tools of daily combat. Israel's operational tempo and constant combat testing have given its F-35 pilots a level of real-world experience that no NATO nation currently possesses. In short, they don't just train for war, they're already fighting it. The Adir's success is also a product of Israel's deep integration of industry and defense. Israeli companies like Elbit Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries work closely with the Air Force to develop upgrades, weapons, and software patches in record time. Problems are identified and solved domestically without waiting months for foreign approval. When a mission exposes a new need, say, a radar frequency adjustment or a new type of decoy, Israeli engineers can design and implement it almost immediately. This rapid innovation cycle keeps the Adir evolving faster than its counterparts abroad. In warfare, that speed of adaptation is priceless. If you compare it with NATO's fleets, the differences become clear. Many NATO countries operate the F-35 under strict maintenance schedules and operational restrictions, resulting in lower readiness rates. They use the jet for training and deterrence, rarely exposing it to high-risk missions. Their pilots have limited combat experience in the aircraft, and logistical chains often delay parts or upgrades. Israel, on the other hand, runs its fleet like a combat organism, lean, adaptable, and constantly evolving. It's the difference between a jet designed to deter and a jet designed to dominate. In every aspect: exterior design, interior systems, performance, safety, readiness, and unique integration, Israel's F-35I has become a living symbol of modern air warfare. It embodies the fusion of cutting-edge American engineering with Israeli ingenuity and battle-hardened pragmatism. It's a machine that doesn't just survive in war, it defines it. And that's why analysts around the world often describe Israel's F-35s as the most lethal of all. They have turned a fifth-generation fighter into a sixth-generation system of war, one that doesn't merely rely on stealth, but on total situational awareness, instant connectivity, and unstoppable readiness. In the end, the story of the Adir is the story of Israel itself, small, surrounded, yet always prepared. A nation that turns every challenge into an opportunity, every tool into a weapon, and every setback into a lesson. The F-35I is more than just an aircraft. It's the culmination of decades of experience, fear, innovation, and resolve. It proves that true power doesn't come only from having the best machines, but from knowing how to use them better than anyone else. So, when you hear that Israeli F-35s are more lethal than NATO's, remember it's not because they're different on paper, it's because they're different in spirit. Israel flies the Adir not just to defend its skies, but to remind the world that superiority isn't bought, it's built, earned, and proven, one mission at a time.